Hem, but AP BREN drafted a lineup that wants to play fast.
I mean, if you're looking at late game coverage and you're looking at just how you scale and ramp up into the different phases of the game, I understand where the 70-something% is coming from. That's the number, right?
Yeah.
76, I get it. But when you get down to business and you look at, again, the speed and the boom boom TM that AP BREN is bringing to the table, the numbers might not matter.
Yes, and here we are, game number 1 of this marquee matchup to end the first half of our regular season here in Season 12. It's AP BREN versus BLACKLIST International, and you hear the fans roaring in the background. They are electric for this match, and we hope you are too. Thank you for joining us here in the English stream. Here's some trivia for you. Since MPL PHS 8, AP BREN and BLACKLIST have met 29 times. BLACKLIST has won 16, while AP BREN has won 13. Wolf, anything about the early game rotations?
Okay, well, you have Kyle TC with the Quantum Charge Hellcurt. Typically, you want to go killing spree, right? And some people will even consider like lethal ignition whatsoever, but they're going for full speed. And of course, the adaptive attack and the custom assassin emblem for the Hellcurt. You want to be able to get into the fights faster, and with the help of Ogwin also rocking the Wilderness Blessing, this is going to be a lot of speed from AP BREN.
Yeah, and that's the fact that we're seeing a double gold start, of course, with both support roamers helping their respective gold laners here. Usually in these matches wherein one team is going up against a fast-paced boom-boom team, the rotations of and the play of the XP laners are also going to be a big factor. How well they can make themselves felt around the map for their team might be the difference maker here.
I love the fact that we are seeing different builds on the Valentina now when it comes to custom emblems. Haji going for Impure Age, and just recently we saw Super Prince going for the maximum speed build with Quantum Charge on the Valentina. Literally showing us how different the playstyles will be for the teams. The BLACKLIST really want to wait for their timings more.
Yeah, speaking of timings, first turtle is about to spawn here. I wonder who's going to be able to get there first, because you're going to see the Hellcurt actually go for the purple buff first. So Sensui's going to be here, not even going to go for his purple just yet.
Yeah, Kyle TZ thought twice about it. Orange just expired. Sensui with the slight pull. Renegade and Haji drawing a perimeter, forcing back AP BREN. Oh, here we go. Kyle TZ with the Dark Knight Falls. Flap TZ answers back. Here we go. Right underneath. And Renegade barely alive. And the bonk. Turtle left alive with the reset. Kyle TZ goes down. Edward draws first blood. And now Flap TZ in trouble. Trapped between 4 members of BLACKLIST International. Flap TZ still alive, but just barely. Oh, the Earth Shatter scores Agent Zero 2 kills.
Oh, and the agents right in front of the English desk are happy with that. That's how you stop a quick boom-boom lineup. Punish them in the first turtle. Hell of a reset there by Sensui Wolf.
Exactly. I want to point that out because it is as if Sensui have enrolled in Wise's school of holding the Lord of the Turtle. Because you know for sure, when you have the Hellcurt, you have the Dark Knight Falls. You have a lot of disadvantage facing up against that hero in the turtle fight. And what he did was to make sure that the turtle was just a pixel away from being reset once they pop the Dark Knight Falls. Now you have an axis. And big shoutouts to Haji marking where Kyle TZ was. Actually, that was the MVP play.
Edward smells blood in the water. Flap TZ. Agent Zero. 3 kills, all him!
Oh, well, we talked about the XP laners and their factor into this match. Edward is already making himself felt. That is not the start AP BREN wants.
Oh, man. On BLACKLIST International, it's like, you know, it's like driving your old car, right? You might have missed, like, driving it, but when you get back, it feels like it's always your comfort as BLACKLIST International. The way that Haji plays is very commendable, and you can see that Edward also feeling very comfortable in the 1v1s. Expect a lot of 1v1s in this as Edward wants to outplay his lane matchup.
And I think we're starting to see yet again AP BREN struggles, especially with the adjustments in this meta. They're still trying to feel out how to play this properly. Look at Sensui.
Oh, Hearthguard up. Astral Echo the answer back. Dark Knight Falls once more by Kyle TZ. They're on a hunt. And to no avail.
Wow, that hard guard is a deterrent for the Hellcurt, actually. Difficult for AP BREN to really find their entry here, and this is one of the difficult things about the AP BREN draft. You're not up against an opposing assassin jungler. It's a tanky jungler.
Man, I won't lie to you. If I'm sitting at 2K down at 4 minutes, I wouldn't force it either.
Yeah, you back off. You find an even better time for it. Turtle's about to spawn here, Wolf.
Yeah, definitely BLACKLIST sided. There's no Dark Knight Falls. That's the only way for AP BREN to actually pick it up. And if you remember, during MPL Season 10, it was the Hellcurt that AP BREN also debuted in the playoffs, and they were so masterful with it, utilizing the Dark Knight Falls. However, Blacklist International knew exactly that that's going to come. I think that AP BREN, the surprise factor from the Hellcurt, is no longer available.
Here's the onward and the combo.
Oh, no way.
Early Black Dragon
Okay.
form. Kyle TZ steals it from right underneath. Blacklist
Oh,
knows
Black!
the shutdown by Super Marco. Agent Zero is down. Now AP BREN on the offensive. Sensui here in trouble.
No!
Taken down by Kyle. Oheb cannot repair the situation despite all that's happened. AP BREN clap back.
Totally jinxed. As I said, AP BREN, there's no more surprise for the Hellcurt that they don't have the Dark Knight Falls. Dark Knight Falls was actually cooling down. That moment was perfect timing. He got it, and he gave a lot of shields to his teammates that now they can fight. That's the disadvantage of losing the turtle in the turtle dance. Your opponents immediately get extra shields, and Blacklist International looked like they didn't have the damage just because of that mini play that CalTZ was able to win.
Yeah, the jungler of AP BREN said, I don't need my ultimate. I've got my trusty old Retribution here, and that turned it around. Are you not entertained? 6 minutes in, it's still neck and neck. The lead Blacklist built for themselves have been equalized by APB. Leo, what might be the next big sequence here?
I'm looking forward to this next turtle, man, because I think Blacklist International is going to have to respect AP BREN, because they were down again. The aforementioned 2K gold lead, kaput.
The item was showed recently, well, just now, Wolf. Any standouts there?
Well, the standout is that Sensui, even after winning the first turtle, the first few minutes of the game, did not have a full item to his belt. I mean, went for the leg plates. The casual items, understandable. But then again, you can see CalTZ leading by 400 gold for some reason. And he's actually ahead almost 2 levels.
Oh, that's a stolen ult there. Astral Echoes, no one home.
All right, okay. That Novaria damage starting to get felt there. Energy brought down by 25% of his health. 10 seconds before that next turtle spawns is what you're looking forward to, Leo. I'm going to be looking at the expilators again because it's right beside their lane, their entry. This Edith, this Yuzhong is going to be massive.
Yep, they got a lot of green, and the fight has begun. Kyle TZ and Flap going for the pull. Few holding on to his Astral Echo, spot Sensui and Haji. Here we go. Black Dragon form time. Kyle TZ going to be able to score the turtle. Shields up. Damage amplified as well. And that's a no-go. Blacklist don't want none.
Good zone out. The information and the vision from AP BREN now in full fruition. They didn't even need to pop the Dark Knight Falls just because of the Astral Recall coming out and the ultimate, of course, from Few already showing where Blacklist is. And Flap TZ going for the heads-up play with a Yuzhong ultimate. It didn't even need the Petrify. They didn't need the kill.
That's release control.
Exactly.
They could have spent so much more, but, you know, just the game IQ and the awareness, like, no, we got it.
Yeah, and more control, even more so now by Blacklist International, knowing it'll be a bit too risky if we try and defend this turret. There goes the bottom lane, gold lane turret, and Super Marco is now free to go around. And this is the ticking time bomb Blacklist International is watching for. How
Kyle got
easy
it.
he wins the Little Wanderer duo.
That was even after the Retribution. Right? So,
Yeah.
well done. And by the way, there's one of the ways that the hero can be considered a jungler is if you can have a skill that if you combine with the Retribution makes it so that enemy will have a difficult time like stealing away the objective from you. So that's a DPS, or the Deadly Poison Stingers with the Retribution.
Okay. Haji has the ultimate of the Novaria and a fuse damage here. Little by little, Blacklist is starting to get warning signs of, guys, this is a Novaria, this is a Bruno. The burst damage, you might be able to end matches or duels before they even begin. So now as we get into the Lord portion of the game, it's still a very close game in terms of the items. Now it's just going to boil down to the setups, the catch.
Oh, Kyle. Kyle knows.
Oh, this is a precarious bush, and now here we go. Dark Knight falls. Oheb gets a heart guard in him. Renegade very quick on the trigger. Kyle TZ retreats. Ooh, respect.
Yeah.
Oh, up top though.
Right.
Edward, Agent Zero 2v1. Ogwin and Super Marco gonna go ahead and pick up a fight, and Edward wins. 2v1. 2v1. Edward wins.
He does it again! Agent Zero reminding AP BREN who he is, and that opens up this Lord for Blacklist.
No explanation needed. Literally just winning that fight, and now that means Blacklist International will get the Lord. How convenient that was for Blacklist International. Edward left up top, wins the 2v1, and the 2v2 that AP BREN lost in the bottom lane. Now Edward is on the hunt.
Oh, Edward is colossal.
Haji.
Edward is colossal, single-handedly kicking Kyle Teasy out of the orange.
Get out of here.
Edward, unbelievable.
Hell of an XP laner you're witnessing, folks.
Legend 0.
AP BREN just got a harsh reminder of who they're up against in the XP lane. And I felt like, Leo, this was a massive overestimation of their abilities and their lead from AP BREN.
This was cold-blooded by Edward. Abun Jingjing, man. That was calculated.
Calculated, executed to near perfection. Now AP BREN have found the game, swung away from their favor. Windtalker now for Oheb, and now AP BREN will start to feel the wrath, not just of the Primal Wrath, but of this Angela Irithel combo.
By the way, that was Dominance Ice to deny the heal, and of course the Blade Armor.
Oh, here we go. Holy Baptism coming in. Kyle Teasy pulls the trigger on the ult, and now they just pop flap just as quickly. And now Oheb has a hard guard on him. AP BREN just backing off. Blacklist happy with the push, happy with the kill, and they're going to be moving on, converting in mid.
A back-to-back plays from Blacklist International, where the sprint and the hard guard for Oheb was so good. That was the bottom lane clash where it was a 2v2. Kyle Teasy not able to finish off on Oheb despite the Dark Knight Falls.
Yep.
Happens again in the top lane, where Oheb just danced through Kyle. Hit me, as he was trying to be very, very speedy with this Irithel going up against Kyle Teasy.
Yeah, it's going to be even harder now for AP BREN to take down Renegade, whoever he's going to be using the hard guard to, probably Oheb, because he now has the photo, but Ogwin has the photo on his hands as well. That's the Flask of the Oasis for you, folks. An orange buff taken by Blacklist.
Oh no, Blacklist depriving AP BREN of resources. I expect this lead to grow, man. We're approaching 4K. If this continues for a minute or two, it's going to be 5K, and that's what? At least 2 items across the cores.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to agree with me here also, Wolf, that the timing of Renegade's hard guards have been stopping AP BREN at specific moments, especially when the Dark Knight falls, the hard guard goes up, and AP BREN says, no, let's get on out of here. We have to wait for that to go down.
100%. As you feel that Renegade is easily acclimating himself to being the heel man now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still the head man. Don't get me wrong, but I think that the way that he times his ultimate with the hard guard and also his positioning, he is not an Angela that stays in the other side of the lane. Yep. Knowing full well that even when he is alone, like he can initially like pop the hard guard.
Yep.
He's not going through the long lane push just because there's a lot of assassination that can come from AP BREN.
Yeah, okay. Skill conservation going to be absolutely key here for AP BREN, because if they find a target, that target might just be on the receiving end of a hard guard, and next thing you know, it's Blacklist International chasing you, and AP BREN no longer having abilities. The Lord is now up. It looks good for Blacklist. How will AP BREN respond? Note, Edward has a Starlium Scythe on him.
Here we go. It's time to dance. Blacklist calling it out. Sensui and Oheb with the pull. Haji controlling the flank. Wybush, it's Flap Teasy. Ogwin knows surely that this is dangerous. Do they know where Edward is? Do they spot Agent Zero? Oh, just dodging, sidestepping that Earth Shatter. And now, Lord here at a third of its health. Watch Oheb. Watch this eastern flank and the western side as well. From the north, here comes the Black Dragon form, and the Dark Knight falls. Lord here stolen by AP BREN, and it's all going to collapse onto them. Down goes Flap Teasy, and Oheb just barely survives. Sensui, he wants to take down Kyle, and they're happy with it. Few, though, goes 2 for the Lord.
Massive flank by Oheb and Renegade, but AP BREN will win that Lord, and it was a warning sign now for Blacklist. You called it, Leo. He almost got taken down, Oheb, because of the damage of that Bruno, of Super Marco. He can't scoff at it.
That was such a micro display coming out from both teams. Unfortunately, Flap and Few was left behind. Well, AP BREN tried to go back, right, as 5, but somebody has to go. The thing is, AP BREN, they have this straight idea that they needed to use their utilities to get the vision outside of Blacklist, but Blacklist are putting themselves in a position where the ultimate coming from Few will not be able to catch them. So big props to Oheb for thinking that way, going for the massive flank on the right side window. Bush.
Yeah, a hell of a call by Blacklist International, and something we're not used to seeing them pull off. Again, this may be indicative of their new era here. Same play style with just a little bit more tweaks, a little bit more penchants for taking big risks, and they're making it work. Now, AP BREN, though, they're showing BLACKLIST International, don't get too comfortable, because we still have a hell of a retrier in our own jungle.
A retrier.
Retrier.
All right. Well, that was a giant Austral Echoes, and now Sensui playing footsies with Ogwin. Close call, stealing away that holy baptism. Haji, the KDA machine, staying true to his name. 0 deaths, 4 assists.
And this Valentina here has to be found out by AP BREN, but of course, with the risk and with the target of the Irithel is just way more important. And of course, you have to consider Edward. Haji's positioning here has been massive, and those Terrifies have been coming in big as well in clutch moments to stop AP BREN's momentum in a team fight.
Okay, big timing for Oheb, the end of nature. This will put Helkert in a very awkward spot where he jumps and we're Wind of Nature up, no way for him to keep himself up. And the thing with Helkert in the jungle role is that you're very much all in. You don't have Flicker, you don't have Sprint, you don't have Petrify. So when you're stuck with Retribution, once you jump, you only have 1 dash, and that's a relatively long cooldown.
It's abysmal re-engage.
Yep.
It's very all in, and it's as if the Hearthguard wasn't enough.
Yeah, and AP BREN now, it feels like they're reminded as to why their old condition for drafting Helkert was if you're up something against like an Eve or a Farsa in the mid lane. But against something that's very mobile, that isn't so static, it's difficult for Kaltizi. His Dark Knight Falls is becoming a utility ult. Just to take out the vision, just so you can, it'll be a little bit easier for you to Retribution objectives away.
I think Kaltizi might shift his focus maybe on Haji. If he's able to get to Renegade with the silence, that will be the perfect scenario for him. And of course the Valentina, which kind of makes me think maybe along the way Renegade will think about getting the Winter Truncheon.
Yeah, Haji has the ultimate of the Rafaela.
Oh,
that hurts, that hurts.
All right, Mayday getting in. Astral Echo, Super Marco very low.
Go!
And he gets taken out by Edward. And they're trading back and forth. Slapped easy down already. Ogwin 2, 3 for 1, the current exchange. Down goes Kyle. It's just few. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a disaster. AP BREN left to 1. BLACKLIST International are going to score this Lord and push deep into their base.
Is this it? Is this their opportunity to end the game? Can Few somehow hold on? Look at that, the Ariadne! No way! No way! Mayday!
Taking it all the way in. BLACKLIST International taking game 1.
Woo! Shots fired by BLACKLIST International. Close game, competitive. But man, Irithel, Angela, Edward with a hot start. BLACKLIST got everything they wanted in that game.
Last Lord fight, it was Edward that started it all. Found the opening and did not let go of it. You cannot slip when you're facing up against the MV3. They can smell your mistakes. They can smell your slip-ups. And in just a snap, they were able to find an opening. They got the kills. And it was